Hey folks, I'm Peter Melhorn, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make a demon dragon style rattle at home. Well folks, if you've been around the catfish world for the past several years, you have probably heard about demon dragons. They're basically a topwater lure. It's from the bass fishing world. It is a lure that is designed to float and be fished on top of the water. They are buoyant, they are sealed up, and they got a little rattle inside of them that is believed to attract fish. And these are used to fish for catfish. They basically replace the float, the peg float that has traditionally been used on a Santee style drift rig. Now, the original Demon Dragon is sold by Scott Manning out at Tennessee River Monsters, and I'll put you a link below where you can order them. They're very nice looking lures. The ones that I have are homemade. They're not as pretty as the ones he makes. They are very nice. They've got very nice paint jobs on them. A lot of different variations of the lures and the paint and everything that goes on them. The one downside to them is they're expensive. They're about $5 a piece. And if you fish as much as I do, and you're on the water as much as I do, you know that you're going to lose some rigs and you're going to lose some of these. And at $5 a pop, plus the cost of your hooks, your swivels, your drift weights, you're looking at close to $7 per rig that's going down the drain every time you get snagged. So I've got a way to make these things a little bit more affordable, not quite as nice, but you can make them at home for about $1 a piece. Well, the first thing you'll need to do is order some of the blanks, as they're called. They're basically unpainted spook style lures. They come in a couple of different sizes. The spooks are the most popular because they got the ball in them, but there are a lot of variations of topwater plugs that can be used just as easily. Now, they come in a couple of different sizes, so obviously the bigger the plug, the more weight, the bigger the bait it will hold up and suspend off the bottom. Now what I do is spray paint mine. I just get some Rust-Oleum spray paint, some different colors, and just spray paint them. It's pretty simple. I've got some that I paint pink, some that I paint green. I base these colors on what has traditionally worked for me with the peg floats. Those colors seem to work pretty good. My belief is that once these baits are down 15, 20 feet, the fish don't really see that much color. There's not that much light penetration that deep into the water column, and they're really seeing more shades of gray at that depth. Now, you can paint them any color you want, white, black, gray, it really doesn't matter. Play around with it, see what works. I go with the colors, that seems to work pretty good, but you can also add some shine to it, a little bit of flicker. If you ever see shad out swimming in the water, you'll see that little flicker of color, and you can do that by hitting them with either some glitter spray paint, or you can actually add glitter to the lure when you paint it. As you can see, some of these look pretty cool, and they actually make pretty good Christmas ornaments too. Now folks, what you do as far as painting these things is really endless. You can make them as complicated or as simple as you want. I'll put a link below where you can order the blanks. They're about 85 cents a piece, maybe $1 a piece depending on the size. You'll need some spray paint. You'll also need a way to suspend them, and you can figure out what works best for you. What I did was I took a coat hanger, cut it, bent it, and made me like a little frame to hang them on and paint them, because you'll need a place for them to air dry. I also suggest you do this outside, not something you really want to do in a house because of the fumes off the paint, not to mention the stuff goes everywhere. If you put it on a table or something outside, put you down a big piece of cardboard or a drop cloth, because once you go to spraying these things, that paint is going to go everywhere. Now you can make these things as simple or as complicated as you want. Any of you folks who have made lures before, you know the process that is involved, you know the labor that is involved, and you know the craftsmanship. And you'll kind of understand quickly once you start to paint these things at home why they charge as much as they do for them. It's not a simple task to paint them, especially when you start putting some of the real artwork into making these things look like a fish. Well folks, hopefully this video gives you some ideas on how you can make these at home and save yourself some money. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. Smash that little bell so you'll be notified when any new videos come out. We look forward to seeing you on the water.